Pastor Otis here. I want to introduce you all to those that don't know her, my sister, Tiffany Terry. She is Director of Community Engagement at CARITAS, and we wanted to come together and talk a little bit about the new CARITAS Center and the apartments that I told you about, and engagement in general as we move forward into this new phase of partnering with CARITAS. So Tiffany, why don't we just step on into this and get started. So tell us a little bit about the CARITAS Center.
Yeah, so this is a long time dream. The center itself evolved out of the idea, or really the need in our community, that there was no place for women who were dealing with recovery at the height of the opioid crises, and even before then, a place for them to go. And so we had this men's healing place that opened in 2000, or at least it got started, and then it actually opened in 2005. And even then we wanted to open the women's healing place, but we just couldn't. And so it came up again, you know, we had this opioid crisis and the timing was right. And I honestly believe that the spirit was right, that all the pieces fell in place, and we were able to find this weird building that nobody would ever want to buy if they were in their right mind. But it was exactly what we needed to make this project work. And so the cornerstone of the CARITAS Center is the healing place for women. It will be 120 beds. And then also within that building will be our admin offices, the furniture bank, our workforce development program called CARITAS Works. We will have volunteer opportunities. We will have 47 sober living apartments that I'm sure we're going to talk about in this call. And we will have 8,000 square feet that will go to a community partner. And right now, one of the hospitals has taken that on, and there will be a clinic in there, which is perfect. We're going to be off the Jeff Davis corridor. And if you don't know, that's the largest concentration of prostitution. Some of you may know that in our city. And so we're very excited to serve those women, to have a place for them to come in and to get free and to be loved on.
That's great. I told them yesterday about how excited I was, and that the CARITAS Center was going to change the dynamic in that part of the city, but not just that part of the city, also all of Richmond, and not just Richmond, but the entire country, as people come here.
That's right. That's right.
To work out of the cycle of addiction and homelessness in a program that we know nationally works extremely well. And we're really excited about it. Can you tell us when you think this is going to open?
Yeah, gosh, COVID, it's changed everything. But you know, it's really exciting. And I think, quite honestly, you always need hope, right? So we have this beacon of light because it's still slated to open this summer. So we were saying summer 2020, we were thinking it would be more like summer, so early July, and now it's looking like we are going to be able to phase in, and staff will move in August. So that's what we're thinking. I'll tell you what, something that's really funny that I don't think they would mind me saying is the thing that's holding us up is that elevator. So once we get the elevator in place, we'll kind of be able to move in and do some other things. But we're going to phase move in because it's such a huge building, 150,000 square feet. We can't do it all at once anyway. So right now we've come up with this plan, and they have regular, I think it's bi-weekly meetings with the construction company to see if we're on time and what's going on with that. So right now we are still slated to open in August. Now, I don't know when residents will come in or any of that, but the building will open in August.
Can you tell us a little bit about the apartments? And I told them again that we sponsored 6 and with the possibility of doing more. And so we're really excited to hear a little bit about these apartments.
Okay. So the apartments are so exciting to me. I just think it's going to be this really cool opportunity. So the apartments, right now in our programming, let me back up a little bit. Right now in our programming, we have something that's called transitional kind of phase. And so as they move through the healing place, as the men move through the healing place, and they're finish their program, they have the option to move into these transitional apartments. And what's so great about that is that they're staying connected to sober living community with their brothers who walk through the program with them while they're getting their feet wet in the world. Because we know that so many of them go back in the world and they get tempted, and then they come back into our program. So when they have that support system that holds them accountable, and you guys certainly get accountability in the Christian faith, that is the whole concept of that. So we lease those apartments now. And so we have these 47 apartments that we will own, which means that any income that comes in will come back to our program. And so those 47 apartments are all affordable rent. If you don't know, Richmond is in the top 20 for highest rents in the nation. And so we're happy that we can offer affordable rent, but it also allows our folks to come in there and not worry about anything. They don't have to pay any bills except for their rent. And so that will be both men and women, not in the same apartment, just in the same building. And that will be people who are coming out of the program, like out of our Healing Place program, but also people in the community. So we're partnering with, or talking to, I shouldn't say partnering, but we are partner. They are our partners, but we are talking with McShin and other recovery programs. So as long as people are willing to live sober and abide by the guidelines that are set in those apartments, they can live there. And they can stay for up to a year. So some folks come in and what they need to do is just kind of save money. Maybe they're going to return to their families. Maybe they have something else that's waiting for them. And so they save money, and that helps them to alumni out of the program. And so they get on their feet. So it's a minimum of 3 months, but we know that people stay with us a year and sometimes longer than a year. So these are extra nice. And so we know that some people are going to want to stay longer. And we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But programmatically, we have to keep people moving so that they can get stable and find their own places as well.
When they move into these apartments that we sort of help sponsor, they don't really know what that means. Is it just an empty apartment that they have to figure out how to get furniture? Is it coming from the furniture bank?
Yeah.
How is that working?
Okay. So what's really cool is you all have sponsored 6 apartments. And with that sponsorship, all furniture is provided. And as part of that, you also got to choose the upholstery options. Now, we had this great interior designer who kind of made it foolproof so that you could choose anything and it would match well. Okay, so when they move in, they will have all of their furniture in place. But we have asked our partners, Bon Air, to also do a shower. And that shower is to outfit the apartment with all of the necessities that somebody would need to make it a home, right? So bedding, shower curtain, trash cans, pots and pans, oven mitts, the whole 9, plates, cups, bowls. And so we've created these Amazon lists that we are sharing with each group that sponsored an apartment, as well as the community in general, hoping that you all will go in there, purchase 1, 2, 30 items, and then they will come back to us, and you guys will send some teams, and you're going to set up those apartments. And you'll send hopefully some family teams in there, because I know in the world of COVID, you have to be careful. So some family units that can come in, set up those apartments with love, pray over that space, and take some video and some pictures, and then share it back with your faith community so that they can also be part of it. And then this is where I get real excited. I mean, I'm excited about that if you can't tell, but I get really excited when the guys move in. And right now they're slotted to move in the first week in July, as long as that elevator gets in there. And so we're going to take some video and talk to them. It's going to be like, I don't know if you guys remember that show where they used to completely redo a home and these families would move in. That's what I'm imagining. It's just going to be awesome.
Yeah. To be able to see those moments when you guys share them with us, for these families moving in and getting to be in not just an apartment that has just stuff in it, but to move into a place that's beautiful and it's their home, right? This is the place where they're going to continue to become all that God is asking them to do
Yeah.
and be. And so I can't wait for our congregations to be able to join in that and see that. And so we're really used to working with CARITAS at Bon Air, right? We've been doing it for years, and
Yeah.
things have drastically changed for us.
Right.
For the good, and I've explained some of that to the congregation about why the models changed and those sorts of things.
Right.
But can you tell us about what it's going to look like, or what you envision for us in the future once these apartments are open and the center is open?
Yep.
How are we going to get to love on the families and the women and the men that we used to?
Yeah, not families, just
Yes.
to catch that. But singles.
People are asking, right? So they're used to hearing CARITAS, right? And that's something that they've not.
Yeah. And I don't know how much time we're supposed to have, but let me just try to capture that really quickly. Our model is not the best for families. We don't have individual spaces for families. And we know that in the recovery world, by talking to other models, that it works really well when an individual can focus on their recovery. So as part of that building, which I didn't mention earlier, sorry, I saw the spinny thing. And that I didn't mention earlier is we're going to have a family visitation suite. And so once women get to a certain part of the program, we will also be hiring a family reunification specialist, an MSW, and they are going to help bridge the relationship. Because the truth is, and this is a hard truth, that most of the time, by the time the women make it to us, they have lost custody of their children, or they have been placed somewhere else. And so we know that that's work that we will have to do. So, and I'm going to tell y'all all about my vision, or our vision around that as well. So, one, there's the Bridge Weeks. You guys have participated in those in the men's space, and now we're going to do it in the women's space. So, would love for you to sign up for one in the men's and one in the women's, and that will feed the people in the building and some of the people in the apartments as well. You know, if they want to come and sit with community, they can. Okay, so that will be part of that. As far as the apartments, what we're going to do is there is a public space. There's going to be a ping pong table and maybe something else, and there's a kitchenette. And so we're going to invite the groups who have sponsored apartments to be able to use that space to sign up for it on a community calendar. And you can do potlucks, you can do fun classes, you can do a game night in that space and build relationships with more than just the 6 apartments that are in there, anybody who comes down there. So that's a real opportunity to build deep relationships with people who choose to come down and connect with you. Now, as far as the larger program, we need volunteers. We want to have activities for people to do. We want to have sewing circles. We want to have spa nights. We want to be able to teach skills. And so those are all things that we're going to need volunteers to do. Not only that, we now have a space for large groups of volunteers in the warehouse. And so we're still figuring out the guidelines on that, because OSHA's got to, now we're OSHA certified. And so we've got to figure out, the age range. But we would love to have some families come in there, and we'll set up family days. So specific days that families can come in, and maybe they're going to build tables. Or I'll give you a little secret. My vision for this is I would love for us to invite families in, and we move somebody who's moving out of crises into their home. And so it becomes this awesome experience of hearing from that family, of choosing the items with them, you guys packing up your trucks, taking it to their home, setting up their home. And then we can maybe have some kids who do, while they're in that warehouse, maybe they build a picnic table. And we paint it, and maybe we do some gardening for them so they have it on their patio. Wouldn't that be awesome? I just think that could be so fun. And so that's a vision. It would obviously have to come a little bit later down the line once we get settled in. But I think that we're going to have so many opportunities. So we need you more than ever. We have more people that we're serving now. And so there's the workforce program we need volunteers for. There's the feeding program. There's collecting donations. So there's something for your time, your talent, your physical presence with people, just loving on people, maybe greeting them. So all of those will be opportunities for you all to participate in the new center.
It's such an amazing thing that we are going to go and be with people where they are, right? For so long, we expected them to come into our space and do our time, but now we get to go and be with people in their place where they live, and it's their home. And it really feeds into the vision of our church. If any of our partners epitomizes the vision of Bonner Baptist Church as creating a place to belong and a place to become, it's CARITAS. That's literally what this center is. That's literally what the healing place is. They are creating places to belong and places to become for people. And we're so excited about this upcoming new phase of life and partnership with CARITAS. And thank you for coming and spend some time with us, sis. I always love spending time with you. And
yeah, it's been fun. Can I just say thank you? I can't. I don't even know where to begin. I can't thank you all enough. I love working with my brother. What I love about this partnership is that you all talk about mission, and it's not just talk. It's let's live it out, whether that is donations, and yes, the financial donations, those are critical to us surviving, but also showing up physically. And I can't thank you enough, and not just me, but all of us at CARITAS. So on behalf of CARITAS, thank you so much for your presence, for your love, and for continuing on this very exciting journey with us. Thank you so much.
This is a partner that we love dearly and have loved before I got here, and we'll love long after we get back. So let's do what Bon Air has been doing and go and love and be part of what CARITAS needs to do in the community. Thanks so much. Love you, sis.
Love you
I'll
too.
see you soon. Talk to y'all later. Bye.
Bye.